Alright guys, my name is Shervin. Welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to take a look at all the no-fee TD credit cards and discuss how they stack up compared to all the competition with all the other credit cards out there. Now, TD is not only one of the 5 major banks in Canada, they are actually the largest bank in the country. And as such, you might think they would offer the most competitive and the best products available across the market. So this could include anything from their bank accounts, their credit cards, or any loans they offer to their customers. So today we're going to take a closer look to all the no-fee credit cards they offer and discuss which ones could be the right fit for you. But before we get into that, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and smash the subscribe button down below and join the community. I make new videos about personal finance and investing on a regular basis, and by subscribing to the channel, you get to see all my new videos right as they come out. And of course, since I'm going to cover a lot of different credit cards in this video, I would really appreciate it if you could do me a favor and smash the like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. But alright, with all of that said, let's get into our first credit card, and that is the TD Cashback Visa card. Now, as I mentioned before, this card has no annual fees whatsoever and is completely free to own. Also with this card, you get 1% back on any purchase made at a gas station, grocery store, or on any recurring bill payments, and you also get 0.5% back on every other purchase. Also, if you're a Starbucks rewards member and you collect Starbucks points, you would get 50% more points if you use this card on your Starbucks account when you're purchasing your drinks. Now, at first glance, it might look like this card is offering you a lot for a no-fee credit card, whereas when you look at the competition out there, this card is actually not as great as it might seem. Now, just to give you some examples, the Amex Simply Cash card is another no-fee credit card which gives you 1.25% cash back on every purchase across the board. This would essentially mean that no matter what you buy with the Amex card, you're going to get a higher cash back compared to anything you're going to get with the TD card. Also, another example would be the Simply Financial Cashback Visa card, which I still contend is probably the best credit card available in the country. And that is because with this card, you get 4% back at restaurants, bars, or any coffee shops, which could also include Starbucks. And you also get 1.5% back on gas, grocery stores, or any drugstore purchases that you make. And you also get 0.5% back on everything else. So again, another card that offers you much higher cashback rates on every category compared to the TD card, even including Starbucks. Now, even though you're getting 50% more Starbucks points when you use the TD card on your Starbucks purchases, you would just get so much more cashback with the Simply Financial card that it just makes more sense to use that card instead. So even though the TD Cashback Visa card is not the worst card I've ever seen, it definitely falls short when you compare it to these other cards which are much superior. So if you are someone who was looking into getting the TD Cashback Visa card, I would suggest you go with one of those other two options instead. And in fact, I'll leave referral links to both of them down below in the description so that if you are interested in checking those cards out and maybe applying for one of them, then you can also support the channel in the meantime, which I always appreciate. But without further ado, let's move on to the next card, and that is the TD Rewards Visa card. Now again, this card has no annual fee and is completely free to own, and it also comes with a sign-up bonus of $50 in value for purchase on Amazon.ca through Shop with Points. So essentially, by signing up for this card, you get $50 for free to spend however you like on Amazon. Also with this card, you get 2 TD points for every dollar you spend on groceries, food, or recurring bill payments, and you also get 1 TD point on every other purchase. Now, in order to see whether you're getting good value from the cashback, we need to first discuss what each TD point is actually worth. Now, with these points, you get the most amount of value per point when you redeem them on travel. And when it comes to travel, each point is about half a cent. So each 2 points will be worth 1 cent. So this means that when you get 2 TD points on every dollar spent on groceries, food, or recurring bill payments, you're essentially getting 1% cash back on those categories. And of course, when you get 1 TD point on everything else, you're essentially getting 0.5% on everything else. So again, we're getting similar rates to the other TD credit card that we just talked about. And again, the same thing applies. There's just too many other cards that offer better rates. And for that reason, this card is a no-go for me. Now, you might be wondering, well, these two were nowhere near the competition. So is there any no-fee TD credit card that is actually worth having? Now, in order to answer that question, we're going to take a look at the next credit card, and that is the TD Business Cashback Visa card. Now, with this card, which is again completely free to own, you get 2% back on gas, office supplies, and any recurring bill payments. Also, as well as that, you get 0.5% back on every other purchase. Now, unlike the last two credit cards that we took a look at, this card actually offers good returns on gas, office supplies, and recurring bill payments. In fact, there is no other no-fee credit card that gives you a higher rate on these specific categories than what this card is offering. Although the one downside to this card is that it is a business card, which means that you can only get it as a business and not as an individual. So this essentially means that unless you are a business owner yourself or the business that you work for is willing to get this card for you, you just can't get this card. But that said, if you are a business owner yourself or the business that you work for is willing to get this card for you, it is definitely a good card to have in your wallet. But again, keep in mind that if you do get this card, you only want to use it on gas, office supplies, or recurring bill payments, and nothing else, because 0.5% on all other purchases is just way too low. So if you are able to get the card, go ahead and get it and only use it on those specific categories. Now, last but not least, we have the TD Business Select Rate Visa card. And I'm not going to waste your time, and I'm just going to come out and say this card is a complete waste of your time. This is because the whole selling point behind this card is that you get a lower interest rate compared to all the other credit cards out there when you have a remaining balance. Now, the main problem with that is that you should never ever carry a balance on your credit card to begin with. Now, I've said this multiple times before, but it bears repeating. You should always pay off your credit card on time and in full. This is because if you don't actually do this every single month, you're going to end up with massive amounts of interest payments on all your balance. Now, usually this interest rate is about 20% or higher. And even though with the Select Rate card, you would only pay 12% interest on your balance, that is still way too much to pay on any balance that you want to have. In fact, even if you need to borrow money for your business, you'd be far better off just taking out a normal business loan, which would have a far lower interest rate compared to 12% on a credit card. So please, even if there's only one thing that you take away from this video, always pay off your credit card on time and in full and never carry a balance. And as long as you're doing that, a card like the Select Rate Visa card is completely pointless to have. Alright, so just to quickly recap what we went over in this video, if you're looking into the TD no-fee individual cards, you'd be far better off going with either the Amex Simply Cash card or the Simply Financial Cashback Visa card. Now, out of all the no-fee TD credit cards, the only one that was worth having was the TD Business Cashback Visa card, which you can only get if you're a business owner or if you get it through the business that you work for. Also, we discussed why it is so important that you always pay off your credit card on time and in full, and we talked about how as long as you're doing that, a card like the Select Rate Visa card is completely useless to have, so don't even bother wasting your time looking at it. Alright, so that's about it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Now, as always, if you have any questions about any of the cards that we talked about in this video, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. I always respond to every single question that comes in. And of course, with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Cheers.